Hello Aquarius, it's Kathleen here to do your March reading. Sorry this has taken so long, guys. I do apologize. I've had some medical issues I've had to deal with. It's been through not wanting to, you know. But I'm here now, so I'll give you a little extra time in this reading to kind of make up for that. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Just so you know, this is a general reading. It will not resonate with every Aquarius. I'm going to tell the story that Spirit most needs conveyed to the people who most need to hear it. I'm going to start with archetypal energies at play here. And right now we have Thanatos. Okay. Let's get a second one for you, Aquarius. I'm actually going to cut the deck for this. The cave. All right. Let's see what we've got going on here for you today. If this reading resonates with you, great. If it does not, you can check out your moon, rising, or Venus sign. You may have more success there. Venus, if you're looking for answers to questions in love, and your rising sign if you're looking for answers in question to career or your purpose on being here, okay? Excuse me, my throat chakra is a little closed up right now, and I'm wondering if it's because of the energy here that's at play, but let's go into the cave. I've actually drawn this card several times, and the cave is about like going within. Here we go. The dark, the portal, the interior. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as a portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is also known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright lights of the city while the carnivorous and dimly lit chambers call to us in the night. Where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend to that fire. Additional readings here. Envision yourself as an old sage in a cave. What enmities do you need? What draws you ever closer to the cave within the cave? Slowly and steadily, crystals of enormous magnitude grow within the dark confines of the cave. Let the cave teach you patience. This is calling to the sacred center within yourself. And when not recognizing that, there's withdrawal, isolation, and hiding from the true self. All right. Let's look up this. Thanatos. Oop, did I just see it? Hold on a second here. Sorry, guys. There we go. Got it. All right. Death. This looks like death of the former self here, but let's see. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as transformation, but the true archetypal resonance of Thanatos cannot easily be assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent and an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the ending of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by the Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. It leaves a mark of ash upon our hearts, signifying we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually with more compassion and wisdom to share. This capacity is needed in our world. One who has faced the annihilation of Thanatos can face anything. When this card appears, it signifies an initiation into the underworld. So the underworld and the cave. There are those with a great gift for navigating Thanatos energy. Thankfully, we find those generous souls in emergency rooms, hospitals, hospice centers, and the like. Facing death leads us to aletheia, which is truth. Grieving, mourning, bearing witness to all that is, a fear of intensity, insensitivity to old age, illness, and the dying. So let's see where this is coming from. Now, you know, from an esoteric kind of existential place, this can be death of the old self, right? And going within the cave to find the deep, dark, hidden aspects of self, going through that dark night of the soul, realizing that everything we did in our lives, everything we do in our lives affects our lives like a spider on a web, right? If one aspect is touched, it resonates throughout the whole web. It affects the people around us, our exterior lives, our internal lives, those we love, those with whom we have issue. Everything is affected by everything we do. And it feels to me like this is probably that esoteric existential death, hopefully, for those that I'm reading for, rather than an actual real issue surrounding illness or death. And going within inside the cave to find the light that exists in the cave, right? And the crystals that grow from the cave. So, with that in mind, let's go into a Celtic cross reading here for you guys, Aquarius. Moving on, okay. Let's see if that comes back up. You had 4 of Cups, the Star, and the 7 of Swords. And he was shuffling, so let's see if that comes back up. Source, Spirit, Angels, Guides, Ancestors. Can I get Toxic? Okay. Can I get Aquarius's next 4 weeks, please? That's definitely some toxic conflict here, being bound up. Death and rebirth here. Okay. Can't make this stuff up, guys. Whoops. And the Tower. Oh, my stuff spilling all over the place. Oh, my Sage. Apparently I need to sage these cards again after this. Or now. I don't know. I did it right before we read, too. Tower. Death and rebirth. Spiritual timeout. Going inside. Okay. 3 of Pentacles. It's all making sense so far. For whoever I'm reading for, it looks like the world is available to you once you conquer the inner devil here. There are feelings of being confined, bound, constricted, restrained, blocked, that are all in your mind at the bottom of the deck here. And the Tower in your conscious mind, which is death and change and upheaval. And King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so let's start reading this here. And I'm going to take this into consideration with the archetypal energies that we read in the beginning. All right. So the Devil. The Devil is the Querent card. The Querent card is you, Aquarius, whoever I'm reading for. So there has been toxic relationships with someone. Yeah. You've been in toxic relationships with someone or people in your life, either romantic, family, friends, whatever, but there are definitely toxic relationships here. And there's a feeling of being bound to other people. And perhaps it's, here's the snake as his tail, right? Perhaps it is childhood trauma that is the cause. Perhaps it is, a lot of times it's childhood trauma. It's also learning what we learned as our role in the family. It can be people-pleasing, codependency. It can be not taking into consideration others. It can be all of those things, yeah? And so much more. That the breadth of it is far too much for me to get into in its entirety here. But let's suffice it to say, definitely toxic relationships. There was definitely an emphasis on fire, right? An emphasis on chemistry, passion, sexuality, joining with another, union, right? And then mental constructs of being confined as a result of that, okay? Crossing that, or the potential outcome or obstacle is the world, right? In your subconscious, you've got 8 of Swords, and she is bound and tied by swords of truth stuck in the ground all around her. And the truth isn't coming to light, and that's what's keeping her tied up, right? And sometimes this can be honesty with oneself. It can be honesty with others. It can be not hearing the truth and being confused by that. Okay? And it's interesting, and I never noticed this before, but I'm seeing the eyes in the swords, like the eye of truth, These little teeny insets here in the swords that almost look like eyes. And I get the sense it's like I'm not willing to see the truth here either. I know what it is, but I'm not willing to accept it in the subconscious mind, not in the conscious mind. And then at the top of the conscious mind is a tower, calamity, sudden and abrupt change, things that change your entire life, disrupted everything. This could have been as the result of an actual death that happened in your environment that caused all this disruption and all this abrupt change, death of a relative, death of a friend, death of a loved one, or sickness or illness. Or it could have been also a death and rebirth of oneself, right? That caused all of this. There's a Four of Swords here, so this is in the immediate future. You're taking some time out to kind of reevaluate how you got here, what it is you need to change your environment. I think you're realizing the effects of every decision you've ever made, every decision you didn't make, the choices, all of that. Your spirituality is at the head of this. You've got Mother Mary and Jesus here in the window or in the stained glass. And he's got his own cross here, or his own sword here. Ooh, I said cross. Freudian slip. Sorry. His own sword here as he sleeps by his side. You know, he's always got his sword by the side. And these can be caustic words, things that were said. Yeah. But again, 3 is about you, right? So at the bottom of the spread, we've got another 3. We've got the 3 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Pentacles is trying to rebuild your foundation here. See how he's sculpting out what he wants, carving it out of stone. Building the sacred arch here in the church, right? This is a spiritual foundation you're trying to build after all of this calamity. Make a piece of art out of what transpired out of that tower. King of Cups in the reverse. This is your environment. You know, the attitude is, I want to rebuild this. I want to build this foundation with this new Venus de Milo here. I have this vision of what I want, and I'm going to build it here. And then you've got the King of Cups upside down. The King of Cups is an environment of not being vulnerable, not being open to receive, not being willing to give your cup of love and vulnerability to someone else. Now, this could be in your environment. You could have someone in your environment that is a King of Cups, and that is a masculine energy, but it could be female as well. Okay? And then you've got, in your hopes and fears, your 2 paths. Which path do I take? I hope I don't choose the wrong one. I hope I didn't choose the wrong one. Look how he's holding the world here in his hands. If he chooses the right path, he or she, masculine energy here though, making a decision. Choosing the right one and having the world in your hands. No, you're right, because the world will be in your hands once you get out of this toxic situation. You figure out how to conquer that. All right? You've got stubbornness and the lion here for pride and strength. You know? You've got the 4 corners and kind of like this angel spirit guide on your shoulder with the eagle here. So there is a higher perspective. You got to gain a higher perspective here in order to get this world and choose the right path to get out of this toxic situation. Spirit, you know, eagle flies closest to spirit, right? Why eagles are so revered in a lot of spiritual communities. He's wise. He sees the big picture of why all this happened now. He gets why the dark night of the soul, going in the cave, the death, everything happened, the tower moment, feeling spiritually bound, had to go inside, gets all of it, right? And you see the world in your hands. And you've got the 2 wands here. Which path do I take? Hope I don't choose the wrong one. And here you've got the Six of Cups in reverse. Ordinarily, the Six of Cups is someone from the past coming in, final outcome, offering you their cup or taking your cup from you. It's in the reverse. Can't go back. Can't go back. The final outcome is there's no going back to this the way it was exactly, right? Tower moment happened for a reason. King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So now you know the truth. You're transformed. See the butterfly over his head. You've gone through a period of transformation. Maybe a Gemini you're dealing with here. This is an air sign Aquarius like you, but you've got the twins on either side of your crown that you're thinking about. And you've got the two moons here. So perhaps it's a Gemini that's on your mind. Having a conversation of truth. We've also got two crows in the background here. Messages, right? Spiritual messages. Hermit gone within. Done some spiritual work. Found your light. Yeah. And perhaps this was someone where when the tower happened, this foundation that you had built came crumbling down. Excuse me. I apologize for coughing in the mic here. Again, throat. I got to get some water. Wow, this is a really... Hold on one second. Okay, moving forward. I apologize. Just come completely verklempt here. Hangman. Yeah. Needed to go in and do that spiritual work that you did over here with the Four of Swords. And I think you've walked away from any kind of trying to omit the truth. You have to see it now. I also think whoever you were interacting with is just fine on their own. You can reverse the roles of the gender here. This is masculine and feminine energy, but you can reverse the roles here. All right. Let's get some going forward. Going forward, Spirit. Now that we've done this spiritual awakening. Oh, it's a golden egg and the frog. Interesting. Wisdom, intuition. Sacred geometry here. The big picture, right? Aligning with Spirit. I'm going to get two cards. I'm actually going to pull them. Oh, Phoenix rising from the ashes. Rising from the ashes, Aquarius. Whoever it is I'm speaking to here. You got the golden egg and the black egg when I split twice. Pretty amazing. But you're rising from the ashes here. Like I said, that king has a crown with a butterfly on it, which I never noticed until today, so apparently it was relevant. Can I get an animal spirit card for the Aquarius that I'm reading for, please? Frog again. Okay. Oh my goodness. You know, can't make this stuff up. It's crazy. All right. And the sea serpent. Oh, this is a cycle of completion. You know, it's that universal symbol of the all-seeing eye and the snake eating his own tail, that infinity, that completion, come a full cycle. You're on to another cycle, which is good, you know, which is good because obviously you've been through a lot as of late. So I want to read to you from this animal book because here we go. Healing your emotional wounds and expressing desires. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire. The sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into healthy currents. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity are left muddy. The current of expression stagnates in some area of our lives, and in other places it floods over. It's important to remember, no matter what, The waters of our emotional lives look like the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true nature. So death of the old self, I think, here. Yeah. Again, another clearing and cleansing card. The frog, clearing, cleansing, healing. The frog and the water element are almost inseparable. The frog spends its first months of life entirely within this healing element and then emerges to rest on land. No matter how earthly the frog becomes, its need for cleansing and rejuvenation is regular. Frogs tend to become overworked and undernourished. It's vital that sensitive creatures practice self-care. This card serves as a reminder that water helps us cleanse, forgive, and release. Time to dive in. Frogs are not meant to carry a heavy load. You need to clear your energy, right? And don't run on empty. Don't get yourself depleted. Don't be overworked and undernourished. It's not healthy for you. And it's not healthy for what you're trying to manifest here. It's not going to work for you, okay? So make sure you have defiant self-care here. It's very important. And Spirit sees you, you know. All of this had purpose behind it. And, you know, you're emerging so that you come out of this and the world will be your oyster. And I understand being concerned and worried about the path that you're going to choose over here, these two paths. But the world is in your hand and you've already chosen, right? You've already got your hand on the one step. You know where it is you want to go. So don't overwork yourself. Don't run yourself ragged. It's not going to help you get there any faster. You've taken the time out you needed to kind of figure out what you're going to do next, right? And you know your choices affect everyone and everything, but your choices about self-care do too, okay? They're no less part of your web. All right, I'm going to get one last oracle card for you guys, Aquarius. I think shaman or... I'm getting drawn to this, so this is what I'm going to pull for you. All right, let's see here. We just got here and now on the bottom. And there's no place like home a second ago. And then to the sea, which is, you know, funny in light of getting the frog and the sea serpent, both of which are water creatures, right? Water's about emotion. Okay. Chaos and conflict. Oh, that's a perfect card, actually. All right. Thank you, Spirit, for that. Let me grab that for you. Chaos and conflict. You see how the zebra is trying to be a giraffe. Doesn't work that way, right? Zebra can't be a giraffe. He's a zebra. Okay. Let's see here. 33. All right. Opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored by it. Scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself that you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Tower moment. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to the reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than just one side of the situation. Look upon this as a just moment in time when you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight this time. This is a time to be understood to understand rather than to be understood. In relationships, stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, and what is really important to you. Some things are non-negotiable, and if that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to higher ground? Soon the air will clear, and you will be in a much better place than before the storm. will have passed, blazing a new path for growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened, always better than before, if you use this time very constructively. Circumstances appear to be chaotic, but everything that is happening now is in truth shaking things up so you can find the real path to your prosperity. Okay? So that's what I have for you today, Aquarius. If you resonated with this video at all, please like, share, and subscribe at the end of it and allow other Aquarius to find this in the feed on YouTube. I'd appreciate that, and I appreciate the support you guys have given me thus far. Additionally, if you'd like to follow me over on Facebook and Instagram, jump on over there. I'm under Triple Threat Tarot, no spaces, and I do other things on there. Like I run contests. I just had a St. Patty's Day contest where I had a winner who's getting a free reading shortly. And then I give away gift boxes, and I do musical cards. I do other things over there that I can't possibly do on YouTube. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, go ahead and check me out over there. Additionally, for the first 50 subscribers here on YouTube, and I'm not at that pinnacle point yet, I will be giving away a spiritual gift box that has sage sticks, Palo Santo, some jewelry that I've made. I made this piece of jewelry here, and I made this piece of jewelry here. So if any of that interests you, you can check that out and subscribe, but you have to be a subscriber and one of the first 50 to automatically be entered to win that spiritual gift box. It also has a book on chakras, so if that's of interest to you, check that out. I will leave it at that for you, Aquarius. Have a great couple of weeks. I hope that this has been helpful and insightful to you in some way, and if so, please leave a comment. And I love you guys. I'll talk to you later, okay? Thanks. Bye-bye, Aquarius.